Hi, my name is Clint Wild and I'm a Liferay portal architect with Extivia. Today I'm going to show you how to create attractive article pages using out-of-the-box Liferay components. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you specifically how to use web content structures, templates, application display templates, and the AssetPublisher Portlet to create really nice professional dynamic article pages. So to start off, I'm going to show you one of the pages I've created, and then I'm going to use the same concepts to create another page right here on the demo. So the first page is this is a bungalow site. It's for bungalow enthusiasts who want to show off their favorite bungalows. And you'll see this first page is a page that shows the image and some other information about each bungalow. The first page I have also has paging. You'll notice that you can go back and previous and next on each one of these pages. And so let's go ahead and I'm going to create another page. But before I do that, let's go to the back end and look at the content. So here's the content that I've created. And I'm going to show you the way I created that was through sites. So go to sites and web content, and then at the top you'll see this manage link and click on structures. And here you're going to see bungalow, which is the structure I created. A structure is basically the definition of all of the fields for a specific web content. And you can see that I created this structure that has these different fields. To add another field, if I wanted to, I just grab it, drag it over, and drop it here on the palette. And then I can configure all the different values for it. This is pretty normal, standard, GUI editing. So I'm going to delete that and cancel this. The next thing is templates. Now, template is how the data from the web content is displayed on the page. So let's go to templates. I've got one bungalow template here, and one of the main things here to know is that when you create a template, to specify which structure it uses, and that is important because the template needs to know what fields are available. So coming down here, you'll notice under fields you'll see the same fields that I have created in my structure. And I have clicked on each one of these, added a little tiny bit of formatting. All I did is added BR tags, pretty much. If I wanted to add, let's say, the photo again, I would just click on it, and it puts this tag here with the free marker scriptlet right here, so that I get my photo right there. So let's delete that. I don't need to change anything here, but just to show you, you have general variables here which are out of the box. You have fields that came with your structure, and then different utility classes here. So we're going to cancel this, and let's go ahead, and now we're ready to create content. So the content is, we're going to create the content in a different site. I created the structure and the template in the global site, so I could reuse these on other sites if I wanted to. So let's go back to bungalows now. And bungalows is another site I created just for displaying the articles. And I've already created all this content here. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these articles. So you can see all the fields that I've created in the structure. I filled out this form here, and under categorization, this is where you define the tags. And I'm using two tags, modern bungalows and ultimate bungalows. And if I wanted to add another tag, I could, but I'm just going to keep this as modern bungalows. Cancel that. Now I've got all my content created. Now the next step is to create my application display template. This is the application display template. Defines how the articles will be displayed on the page. So, and I created those in my global site. So let's go back to global, application display templates, and I get to this page, and notice this page there's different types of application display templates. So if I wanted to add a new one, in my case I would click Asset Publisher Template because that's what I want to use. I'm using the Asset Publisher Portlet. So I've already created these two. Let's go ahead and look at the Bungalows Basics here. I am using FreeMarker, so we're going to select that. And this is the template code here. So at the top I've just got some utility classes that I'm using, and then I go through a loop. So basically what's going to happen is I define which articles I want to be used, and they're fed to this display template, and I define which articles I'm going to use in my Asset Publisher Portlet. I'll show you that in just a minute. So what you need to know here is that this template, Application Display Template, gets a list of entries. So we're going to check, go through, we're going to define the entry, the asset register, and the class name. We're going to make sure that it's a journal article, and then we're going to pull out the values. So you see we've got the entry title, view URL, article, and then the document XML. Everything here is standard for any article you're going to use. After this is where you actually have to parse the XML and pull out the field that you defined. Liferay stores custom fields from the structure in XML in the database, and so we pull those out through SACS, the SACS reader util here, and you notice that I've got the photo, body. So now I have those as variables. Now I can add those here in my actual HTML inside this loop. So here's my HTML, and I've added those here. Another thing is I'm using the Liferay.language macro here, and @ means it's a macro, which is basically a function, and I'm localizing this read more. So that's pretty much it for the asset display template. So let's go ahead and go back to the page. I've got everything set up. Now the only other thing I have left to do is add the Asset Publisher template to a page. So let's do that. We're going to create a whole new page. So let's create another page called Ultimate Bungalows. Whoops. Put it in the right place here. And it's going to be one column. Click Add Page. Now we're going to go to Ultimate Bungalows. Now we're going to add the Asset Publisher Portlet to this page. Under Applications, Asset Publisher. Now one nice thing about Asset Publisher, by default it's going to show you content, because it's going to grab unfiltered content, meaning it's going to grab everything. So we don't want it to show everything. We want it to show the Ultimate Bungalows on this page. So I'm going to go here and select, under the asset selection, I'm going to select web content, let's see, web content article. Oh, my page isn't letting me see that, so let's scroll down. Web content article, and subtype we're going to select bungalow. Then we're going to come down here under tags, and so basically display any of the following tags. We're going to say Ultimate Bungalow here. I'm going to deselect anything else because I don't really care about showing anything else right now. Save. Now let's close this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. Okay, now you see that we've whittled the list down to just Ultimate Bungalows. Let's go back in, and now go to Display Settings, and we're going to uncheck this checkbox Show Add Content button. We don't want that to show. And here we're going to select Bungalows with Spotlight. This is another application display template I created that shows 3 articles on top with a bigger image, so that they're highlighted as the latest 3 articles. And we're going to go ahead, we'll leave that as 20, leave that show full content. We won't have any pagination on this page. We're going to make this as simple as possible, get rid of all the other check marks here, and then we're going to hit save. Okay, we'll close this. Now you see we're getting closer, but the page still, so now you're seeing that we have bigger images, which is what I defined in the application display template, but we are still, the style is still off. So what I did is I took a little bit of a shortcut and I pasted my CSS directly in the page. For production, I would not, for production or any other use, I really wouldn't do it this way. What happens is you can forget that you have put it in the page, and you can spend a lot of time trying to figure out where you put the styles, and so it's better to put them all in a theme, the way that we do it, as much as possible. And so I'm going to paste that same CSS on this page, refresh, there we go. Now you see the 3 spotlight images on top, and you see the list on the bottom. So now anytime a new article gets published, it will come here on the left side, and this latest article here, the oldest one, will get pushed to the bottom of this list here. And I did this all with one application display template and one asset publisher. So this is a great way to display content. I will be posting these articles or this code in the blog post. Thanks for watching.